What's going on YouTube? LTH coming at you with a Wednesday night video. Just thought I'd drop this video before Thursday night football. And before I talk about it, I came here to make a prediction update regarding the Thursday night game with us tomorrow. I predicted the Tennessee Titans will beat Green Bay, but I'm now switching my Thursday night prediction to the Packers now. So my new prediction update is now Packers over the Titans. Why did I switch it up? Because I feel like the Packers can build off that huge comeback win against the Cowboys they delivered Sunday. I know the Titans got King Henry. King Henry is their offense, but as they say, anything and everything is possible with Green Bay. Opportunity to get hot at the right time. So I'm going to have to go with the Green Bay Packers tomorrow night. So there's that. And I also wanted to talk about some moves the Texans made. They added 2 players and waived 1 player in Tyler Johnson. And the 2 players the Texans got was Benjamin and Amari Rogers from Green Bay, the 3rd-round pick in 2021. It sucks that neither of them got a lot of playing. They got some playing time, but just not a lot. And they're both young, and I wanted to see what they can bring to the Texans offense. I'm all for it. If it means Benjamin taking the load off Damian Pierce, who's been carrying this whole Texans offense. They could be an effective 1-2 punch if utilized properly. Just like Amari Rodgers could be effective as well. If Pep Hamilton can figure out how to utilize these players right on offense. But not to mention, Benjamin and Amari Rogers, welcome to the Texans. Can't wait to see what y'all do Sunday when Washington comes to town. Speaking of Washington, I gotta give them credit for going into Philly Monday night and pulling off the upset. Nobody, including myself, didn't think that the Commanders will pull it off, but they did. They found a way. Especially with that run game. They did what 8 other teams couldn't do, and that is beat the Eagles. Especially with the way they were able to keep the Eagles on their heels defensively. But I just thought I'd touch on that. So, Texans hosting the Commanders. And of course, Chase Young is expected to make his debut versus Houston, which is pretty huge for the Commanders' defensive line. It's been dealing with injury. And then you got J.D. McKissick, who, Washington is one of the arguably the most underrated teams in the NFL. They got the talent defensively and offensively. They got a good D line. Got a pretty solid pass rush. They got a good O line, great running back core. With J.D. McKissick soon to be back, even though he was questionable. A great running back core that can keep defenses on the heels. And yes, I do see the Redskins running attack pulverizing this Texans run defense, because the Texans can't stop the run for spit. Not to mention Taylor Heineke's going to be starting. Taylor Heineke, he may not be the flashiest of the flashes, but one thing I know, he does play with heart, with a heavy heart. He can play his ass off. The boy's got heart. So it could be a sign of things that Carson Wentz won't play another slap for the Commanders. I could be wrong though, but everything's possible in the quarterback position. But Heineke's going to be starting. So, yeah. Washington got a good squad. Just need they just one long-term quarterback away from doing great things. But what's more important than having one quarterback away is one owner away from Washington being relevant again. But the Texans, I'm not expecting a lot from this team, especially in the run defense. Because what I've learned that is, even though they play teams tough, they're not getting blown out by much, but they just seem to start off almost every game playing conservative, not playing inspired. I read something on the Score app that there's a real chance that Lovey could be fired by the end of this year. Not saying I'm right on this, but anything, it's possible. If he gets fired, it is what it is. But if not, that's just what it is. So get that man an effective pass rush and D tackle, and the Tampa 2 will work just fine. Now, as far as Pep Hamilton, it's been in Davis Mills, especially Pep Hamilton, thought that man would be a great upgrade from Tim Kelly, but man, this dude was no better. It's been a disappointment because I feel like he's holding his offense back as well. I know Kenyon Green is young, he's a rookie, but that Texans online gonna have their hands full against that Commanders D line, that can cause havoc. And Davis Mills gonna have to read the blitzes and react, because they're gonna look to sack Davis Mills, and Mills gotta know when to throw the ball away, instead of taking a sack. Because and Damian Pierce he's been the bright spot of that offense, and hopefully Nico Collins can play. I'm not sure about Brandon Cooks. But I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play. The season's already over with, but I just want to see these rookies do their thing. Speaking of rookies, the rookies kind of had an off day versus the Giants. Even Damian Pierce had that, lost a fumble. Petrie missing tackles, which led to giving up the TD. Kenyon Green was getting pulverized by Lawrence. The rookies will be rookies. It's going to be rookie mistakes, but they will get better as they learn from them as the year goes by. Just want to see what these rookies working with. And Jerry Hughes has been the only bright spot in that D line. If you could get that man some help, then that'll be great. But like I say, secondary has been a bright spot pretty much all year. Stingley doing his thing, Steven Nelson. Secondary has been the bright spot. It's just the pass rush just sucks, because without a pass rush, it's going to be hard to sack quarterbacks, let alone neutralize opposing offensive line, because Washington does have a good O-line that can lead to their running game being great. And I do see the Commanders' running game kicking the Texans' defense ass, because the Texans, what's brutally embarrassing, that this Texans run defense is on pace to giving up 3,000 yards rushing. If that ain't let me say that again. 3,000 yards rushing that the Texans run defense is on pace for. Not a good look at all. But run defense has been the Texans' biggest weak point at that, which is why I say they need an edge and to beef up the D-line. mean, drafting Bryce Young sounds good and all, but I would like to draft both Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. You know, just that D line and pass rush. But as they say, nothing is guaranteed. So how does this game go down? Give me Washington winning by 2 scores. You know, reason being because they're able to run the ball and keep the opposing defenses on their heels. Similar to how they did against Philly. And the Texans' inability to score in the fourth quarter, which has been their biggest Achilles heel late in games and in key moments. But hopefully this Texans team proved me wrong, but hey, I definitely doubt it. But let's see what happens this Sunday. And before I conclude this video, shout out to Big Sample 422 and shout out to Awesomeness Sports. And if there's any other Washington Commanders YouTube content creators out there, hit the comment section. But until then, H-Town, let's go. Yeah, checking on the out of here. Go Texans. H-Town salute, by the way. I'm out.